Yo, what's good, everybody? I hope everybody having a wonderful, blessed day, evening, nighttime, whatever it is for you. Right now it's 24 degrees and sunny in Montreal, Quebec, and I'm feeling good. But let's get to the point of this video, and that is why Drake really dropped 3 albums in one day. Obviously, as we all know, or probably should know by now, is that Drake dropped 3 albums: ICEMAN, BBT, and I think that's the one, and The Maid of Honor. And he dropped them all in one night. We were all expecting one. Some of us were expecting 2, but nobody was really expecting him to drop 3 albums. But the reason why he did it was because he wanted to get out of his label contract with UMG. Now, everybody knows about the Kendrick beef and yada yada, and how he tried to sue the label, tried to sue his label, which was also Kendrick's label at the same time, due to the drama behind the beef and them picking sides and whatever, but that's not the point. The point is, I think Drake maybe wouldn't have done it exactly this way, but he would have been trying to get out of this deal as fast as possible either way, regardless of the fact that Kendrick or Lucien or UMG was picking sides and etc. The world we live in now in 2026 as artists, and even on that level, like Drake's level, labels have become unnecessary. Now, a little bit of background about me, shameless plug. My name is CAIRO. I'm an artist, independent artist. I have about 300,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and I make a full-time living from music, just from streaming, honestly. I feel like I'm qualified to talk about this because I have dealt with labels and distribution in the past, and I've built up my career without them, and they started reaching out to me once I already had, a full-time income and a career going for myself. And that's what the labels do nowadays. I'm not going to get into specifics of, what the label, I say a lot. I'm not going to get into the specifics of what Drake's label does for him, because honestly, I couldn't tell you that. But one thing I can tell you is that Drake doesn't need UMG. UMG needs Drake. UMG needs Kendrick Lamar. UMG needs these legacy acts, basically, in order to keep going. The most money per year that all of these major labels make is off of legacy catalog from the likes of Michael Jackson. Actually, I don't even know who Michael Jackson is signed to, if he's signed to anybody right now. But that's besides the point. Let's just say Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift, Drake, Elvis, literally the Beatles, all of these things, all of these artists, all of these bands, etc. Most of the money they make every single year is off of the streams, right? Don't let anybody tell you that streaming doesn't make money in music. The streams off of these legacy acts. People need to realize, we as artists need to realize that the new game, honestly, if I'm going to be frank with you, is volume. Dropping as much music as possible. Drake dropped 40-something songs in one night, 3 albums in one night, partially to get out of his deal so he could be independent, but also because he realizes that, and he's always realized this, to be real, that volume is the number one factor in making a career out of music. Don't believe me? Look at the biggest artists that are still out today. They're the most active artists, with the exception of maybe Kendrick Lamar or maybe J. Cole. But actually, let's talk about J. Cole for a second. I love J. Cole, so this is not meant to be disrespectful in any way. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. But his album kind of came and went. And everybody's album that dropped this year, with the exception of Drake. I'm making this right now, it's been less than a week since he dropped it, so I guess we'll see. Time will tell. But albums aren't really lasting much longer than 2 weeks, a month at best. As an independent artist, an upcoming artist, underground artist, whatever you want to call yourself, you should not be dropping albums. You should be dropping a single a week. And I started doing this myself in November of 2025, so November of last year, and I've been dropping a song a week all year this year. I think I missed 1 week because I was waiting on a feature and he was just fucking around and on some bullshit. But I've been dropping a song a week. I need you guys to realize that if you want to make a career out of music, this is the best way to do it. And please don't ever sign away your streaming royalties. I need you guys to understand one thing in particular. With an artist as big as Drake, literally the biggest artist in the world right now, signing or going independent and not being signed to a label, it's even more fuel to the fire that we as artists, we should probably just stay independent at this point. Why have you guys noticed that there's no new superstars really? Like, who's the biggest superstar in rap right now that's come out in the past 5 years, that's lasted more than 5 years? I can't even name one. I mean, I think Central C and Don Toliver maybe. Well, Don Toliver's been around for a bit longer than 5 years, but they're definitely big acts. But Central C was independent up until recently, and Don Toliver is signed to Travis Scott, so it's a bit of an exception. These labels aren't even going to approach you. Take it from me, they're not even going to approach you until you already have something built for yourself that can sustain itself. So what do we really need these labels for? The new strategy with music in 2026 and going forward for the next 5 to 10 years at least is going to be staying independent and building up your own fan base and building your own audience in your own niche. No matter how small it is, if you have 1,000 fans, you're gonna do better than the artist who's signed to a major label and he has 100,000 followers on Instagram. Hands down. Hands down. If you have 10,000 fans as an independent artist and you're dropping a song a week and your songs are getting 25, 50,000 streams first week when you drop, that's $200 a week. Plus your catalog, you're going to be making hundreds, thousands of dollars a month just off of music that you don't even have to promote. Guys, I'm dropping songs every week that I don't even promote further than posting it on my story, which is honestly bad. I should really put a bit more effort into it, but I don't need to, because I drop a song, I post it on my story a couple times, I post it on my YouTube, and then from the fan base that I've built up over 6 years or whatever, 7 years of making music and posting on Spotify, now the numbers work for themselves, bro. My fans just tap in. They want to hear music from me every week. And that's the whole point of this video. That's the reason why Drake dropped 3 albums in one night. I hope I'm making a bit of sense. I know this kind of got into a rant, and I could go more into depth on this topic if you guys would like, but I just needed to get this thought out of my head and let you guys know exactly why he did that. Yes, it's partially because of the drama and all of that, but really it's about money. Actually, I just wanted to touch on this video I saw. DDG showing off his royalties that he made off of songs, just from streaming alone, recently in a live stream that was posted on YouTube and everything. And he came to the realization that if he were to just drop a song a week, like I'm telling you guys now, he would be making more money than he would have if he, with those songs that he signed to a label. He realized that Drake has been doing this volume thing, and Drake has been doing volume forever, right? But that's because back in the day, he needed a label in order to use volume. You needed a label to distribute your music and promote your music and yada yada. Now, if Drake is independent, really he could use DistroKid or TuneCore or whatever and post on his Instagram, and the song would get 1 million streams in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't even need to market it other than that. Drake now needs $0 in order to make a song and put out a song from start to finish. And if he's making, Drake doesn't need $5,000 a day extra, but you know what I'm saying? If he's dropping a song and it's doing 1 million streams a day, completely independently, then he's making $4,000 to $5,000 a day off of that song. But regardless, I'm kind of rambling right now. I think you guys get the point. This is what this whole channel is about, is teaching upcoming and aspiring artists how to really make money in music, how to make a career out of music and survive in the music industry, being independent and not having the resources of a major label or something of the sort. But the beauty of it all is that a label isn't even really gonna help you, bro. A label gonna ask for 50%, 80% maybe. Are they doing 80% of the work? Fuck no. You already doing 80 to 90% of the work by building up an audience and making the music yourself. Labels in 2026 are dead. Drake just proved that with the drop of ICEMAN and the other 2 albums. So yeah, if you guys want to learn more about this, or you're an upcoming artist, underground artist, aspiring artist, whatever you want to call yourself, bro, if you're trying to make money out of music, then I have a paid community below, a school community, where I go into depth about my whole career, how I came up and everything. Also, I'm active in the community. I'm there every day talking to you guys, answering any questions. I host a live Q&A call every week. I respond to every question, post it in the community tab. And also, not just that, it's not just me talking. I have things that will actually help you get started today and level up your music today. I have mixer presets, because I mix and master my own songs. I have mixer presets on FL Studio for over 20 songs of mine that have hit over 1 million streams. So you could, if you're having trouble with mixing or mastering, or whether that be you're having trouble doing it yourself or affording a mixer, you can just tap in and use those presets, and you have a song, you have vocals ready to go, and even beat mastering ready to go. What else do I got in there? I got a whole bunch of goodies. I got a list of influencers and content creators that I've worked with and that I know of that you can pay to promote your music, that I've paid before to promote my music, and that will directly translate into streams right away. There's a whole bunch of shit in there. Check it out if you guys are interested, if you guys are on the come up or whatever. And also just shoot me a DM, follow me on Instagram, whatever. Check out my music if you want to. And yeah, that's about it. That's why Drake dropped 3 albums in one night and why he's independent now. Peace.